different day, same clothes.
Yeah.
After seeing you here.
All right, Jess. Why? This is so shit. This
I know it is, isn't it? Right. Next question.
What is the importance of passion work spec projects?
Passion work.
Passion work. Passion projects.
She means passion projects and like spec work.
Okay.
So when we're a bit quieter, maybe, or spare time. I mean, I always think we've talked about this plenty of times before.
Mm-hmm.
We all most of us started working in this industry as a hobby.
Mm.
And you do hobbies in your spare time. You want to do things that you're interested in. You want to, if we're talking about specifically filmmaking, produce films that are about things that you're into. And quite often, you might not get the opportunity to do that as regularly as you want to.
Yeah.
Because, clients most of the time have an idea of what they want, first of all. So from my personal point of view, I think they're important just to keep you interested, to keep you sharp, basically.
Yeah. Broadly speaking, I'd say exactly the same. I think it gives you opportunity to kind of practice techniques or like ways of working outside what we've been commissioned by clients. So, and if you can kind of practice that outside the constraints of like having to deliver a project, then it kind of gives you a bit of flexibility and a bit of freedom to kind of try things and fail. Like you don't want to be doing that when a client is paying for it. So I think, to kind of stretch you in different ways, and when it's successful, just adds a string to your bow, doesn't it? That you've got, that's another thing that then we can say, well, we've got evidence that we can do it. I think if we want to work with a specific client or a client within a certain sector, and we haven't necessarily got anything that quite fits the bill on our portfolio or showreel, then we can do spec work of effectively, we can, whether we're, let's say we want to work with, I don't know, Brewdog, and we haven't got, huge amounts of beer stuff on our portfolio, then it's worth us investing time and or money to kind of work on a spec piece that is similar, either literally has that brand that we want to work with in it, or something that is kind of similar and within the same sort of sector. So then we can just take it to them and demonstrate, look, you're not really going to take a risk with us because we can already do it. And I think that is really important to do. And I think something that we kind of I imagine a lot of creatives suffer from is only doing that sort of stuff like spec work and passion projects when you're quiet.
Yeah.
Whereas I think we're trying to get into a bit more of a habit, aren't we, of like planning that sort of stuff throughout the year.
Yeah.
So it's not just when we're quiet and we feel like we have to fill the time.
Yeah, because I was going to say, like, out of, I don't know, let's say a handful of passion project spec work that you've done in the, I don't know, let's not put a time period on it. For me personally, they tend to be the ones that I'm most proud of. I mean, the one that you recently did for the, I can never pronounce it.
Orrery. Yeah.
Like, surely that's like something that you're very proud of.
Yeah, I mean, despite it taking me 5 years to make, but I'm really, really proud of it. Mainly because I shot it all myself, like directed it all myself, and I don't shoot much nowadays. So like that was really nice to sort of see that come to fruition. And also, it was shot on kit that like, it was 5 years old. Like we haven't got any of that kit anymore. And like even looking at the footage now, I'm like, oh, that's pretty nice actually. But anyway, the integration of some like animation that one of our sort of contractors, Nicole, worked on, that is now stuff that will be in our showreel, in our portfolio. And it's even just last week, I've shared that with a client for a proposal saying like, we want to do this sort of thing. So, that wasn't a paid project. That was just something that we wanted to kind of do a bit more work on. It was kind of character animation. We don't have a huge amount of that in our portfolio. So, but now we've got, I know it wasn't for like a paying client, but we've got that then we can go and take to other clients and say, like, do you want to do something like this?
Yeah. I just think, I think generally they're quite important for, I know it's like a wanky thing to say, but like creatives do kind of need their ego boosted a little bit now and then. And
sure. Yeah.
Something to, we're creative in the sense of like, an idea might come to us, I don't know, like the stereotypical thing of in the shower or whatever, but we might not have a paying client who's willing to do that thing.
Yeah, sure.
So proof of concept and all that kind of stuff, like, like you're saying, there's quite, if you go on YouTube especially, there's quite a lot of like Nike spec commercials because obviously most people want to work with Nike.
Somebody like that. Yeah.
Have you ever done something like that and it's like a spec project for a client and then somehow, whether it's them directly or another person,
like for a specific client?
Yeah, let's say you wanted to work with a client that you weren't. You made a piece of work for them, whether directly or indirectly.
Well,
so like,
so I
it
think
could be you wanted to work with X person, but you ended up working with Y person.
Yeah. So the answer is yeah.
Cool. End of podcast.
So when we made that send nudes video ages ago, like we just did that as a bit of a flex to show like what we could do between us, the motion control people, and the kit hire company. And we didn't really. I mean, we kind of had an idea that we'd like to send it to somebody like Wagamama's and kind of. But it wasn't like a there was no branding in it or anything. It was just it was kind of a brandless piece. But then off the back of that, we showed it to some people at Chopsticks, and we got that Chopsticks job because of that. Yeah. And I mean, there are elements of it that are very similar.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a different brief. I mean, obviously we didn't have a brief for send nudes, but like it's got slow-mo. It's not got motion control in it. The Chopsticks one, but like there are definitely it's Asian food and there's a lot of slow-mo in it, a lot of like things exploding everywhere, so it's definitely got its roots from that original spec piece. And then the other one was during the first COVID lockdown. I just made like a little spec ad for Tiny Rebel Brewery, and I think I was using the Pro Blends. I hired a load of kit and was just having to play around with it in my kitchen basically. And I just made this little like 30-second promo, and I didn't quite get work from them, but they sent me like crates and crates and crates of beer to say like,
that'll do, won't
cool,
it?
Thanks. So we can get more stuff where I get paid in beer. That'd be amazing. But actually we kind of went on and then got commissioned to do some stuff for Buxton Brewery off the back of that. So in a trickle down way, we did. Oh, and actually then we did JW Lee stuff as well. We kind of.
I mean, I've definitely worked on projects with you that are similar to that video.
Yeah,
it's not for Tiny Rebel, but it's similar style.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so it has. I mean, definitely, we've got evidence that spec stuff, passion project stuff works. I mean, I don't think that shouldn't be the be all and end all of it. No. It's to get other clients and stuff like that. It should be a contributing factor, but I think you're right. It should just be like a creative flex.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like a split between like doing it for a specific reason, like you want to work with a certain person or a client, but also like just doing something because you're proud of it and you want to do it, you want to make that thing, or you want to help someone out, for example,
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
There we go. Nice.
Right.